and I am not pulling a Kaimadar. There are a lot of things I don't like. I don't like possession, and I don't like mysterious voices in my head. But one thing I really do not like is feeling helpless, and that is kind of how I'm feeling right now, because Java has a problem, and he doesn't seem to see that it's a problem, and that's a problem, and I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do because I'm not going to fix his problems for him because I respect boundaries. And he doesn't seem to be ready or want to, and part of me just wants to go in there guns blazing and be like, all right, Jaffa, it's time, get the skulk out, but I am respecting his boundaries. He said no, and I'm going to push back in words, but I'm not going to do anything. Because if I learned anything from everything that happened with Kaimadar, it's that boundaries are important. Really important. And Jaffa is my friend, and I may have been a terrible friend up until now, but I am going to respect his boundaries. So unless he tells me he needs help, I'm gonna have to leave him with the skulk. Which is terrible, because clearly something's going on, but respecting boundaries is very different than leaving him to fight this on his own, because I'm not. He's my friend, and I'm going to support him. And just because I'm not breaking into his house to destroy everything skulk-related doesn't mean he's alone in this, because he's not. He is my friend, and I want him to get better, but I can't fix his problem because he doesn't want me to. So I've decided I'm going to leave him a care package. I've been working on it in the background for a couple of weeks, just things that might help him or make him feel better. I'm not all that good with a loom, but I spent some time on it, and I managed to make another bee plushie that did not turn out horribly. Because plushies are the best. Plushies are the best. Anyone who does not agree can fight me. So I have made him a bee plushie. He can name it whatever he wants. If he names it Skulk, I might cry. And I cooked him up some stew because there is nothing quite like stew. Stew is just the best. Admittedly, it is not vegetarian stew. I really hope he isn't vegetarian. But we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. And then I raided my potion supplies because, I might be like a little bit paranoid and I might have prepped like an apocalyptic amount of potions. But what's the point of that if you can't share it with friends? So I raided my potion supplies, and then I rummaged in my ender chest and I found a god apple, and I wrote a nice note, a friend note, a note like, hey, if you need me to kill the skulk, I'll do it. Just ask. All you have to do is ask, man. Please let me kill the skulk for you. And I hope you're feeling better. I hope you're having a great day. That kind of note. And then I threw in some birds that had good names just for the fun of it. And that was that. And you know how, like, when there's something that's annoying you and then you realize that you do it too? That's me with Jaffa and his voiding, because I was so irritated that he wasn't just getting rid of the skulk. But, well, I haven't gotten rid of them, have I? They haven't talked to me in a while, so I was ignoring it. I was ignoring it. I was hoping it was just gone, but it's not gone. I feel like if it was gone, I would know, and just because they haven't talked to me doesn't mean they're not there. I've been trying so long, like, there's that saying, don't look a gift horse in the mouth. I've been trying not to, like, investigate, because I'm afraid if I look into it that they'll come back and they'll start talking to me again. And look, it's actually been nice the past couple of months, maybe, to not have to have someone else in my head. It's nice to have my head be quiet, and I really, it was ambitious of me to try and have, like, a nice vacation home here, but it's no longer ambitious. Now it's just foolish. How can I do this without having solved everything? They're not gone. I can't pretend they're gone, So that means I actually have to figure out a bunch of things. For example, why they haven't been talking to me. Like, for a while I was just really, really glad, and I wasn't thinking about it, but are they bored? Do they move on? Have I done something that's blocked them? Like, I know they couldn't get on the server, because if they could get on the server would be gone. So I gotta figure out how to make it stop. And while this might not be an ideal time to mess with things, given that, Jaffa already has a thing going on, so if I mess with things and I pull a Kaimadar and make everything worse, that would be really inconvenient. But, I'm gonna do it safely. Because I learned a lot from Kaimadar. I learned that boundaries are important, and I learned that lab safety is not meant to be messed with, and that if you don't know what you're doing, you better do it slowly. So I'm gonna do it slowly, and I'm gonna build up proper protections, and I am not pulling a Kaimadar. What I am going to do is get to the bottom of this, and that starts with a place to work that is far away from my house, because I've learned my lesson. Now, in terms of where I want to put my, like, little research room, I don't want to put it on this island, because while it's an island, it also happens to have my house and my 2 children on it. And oh, yeah, by the way, they both have names now, so there's Freyer and Nessie. Hello, Nessie. Hello, Freyer. So yeah, I don't want them anywhere near my house or my 2 children. So I was thinking, in terms of, like, this island, I've dibsed. Percy's got kind of over here, and I'm thinking if I just sort of go in the ocean over here, It's ocean. That's probably fine. If I mess up terribly, I'm in the middle of the ocean. The one thing I learned from having them stalk me for a while is that in the hardcore worlds, they didn't really seem to like water all that much, so maybe if I'm under the water, that's like an added layer of protection because they don't like water. I just think maybe doing it in the ocean would be good, because no one's gonna come across it then. Like, who's gonna be like, ah, yes, I suspect Corn of doing something nefarious, let's check the ocean. So, I'm gonna make my nice experimentation room in the ocean somewhere. I just gotta swim far enough out for a bit. Yeah, we could go, like, right here. Hello? Yeah, yeah, okay, sure, I'll use my silk touch one. I should have brought a trapdoor. And, like, torches and stuff. I am not prepared. By golly, I am not prepared. Alright. I will come back with stuff. So I went and I got myself some stuff, and then I started just digging out a room, and I made sure to leave 2 layers for the ceiling between me and the water because I don't want it coming down on me, but I'm not positive that that's enough. I'm a little worried about the structural integrity, so I think I might stick some beams up, but I don't want to change it too much. And then I am now realizing I kind of trapped myself down here. Like, I'll dig my way up, but I think it's good to have trapped myself down here, because if something goes wrong down here, I don't want it getting out. So not having a visible exit makes a lot of sense to me. Maybe I'll put in like a hidden exit, but anyway, and I hear the ceiling creaking. Okay, I am going to put some beams in, and hope it doesn't come down on me, and yeah. Alright, well, I'm still not sure it's gonna hold much. The top layer is gravel, and so it really wants to fall. I'm not sure it's gonna hold, but I've been hearing the creaking less, so I think I have enough beams in. And now it's time to just get organized here.
6.5 hours later.
And here's the finished workspace. It's a lot of copper, and you might be thinking, Corn, why copper? Why not iron? Isn't iron like a good, safe metal? Kaimidar was using it. Well, Kaimidar doesn't know everything, okay? Kaimidar was using iron, but you know what's a natural antimicrobial, which should be used a lot more in hospitals? Copper. So yes, downside, it doesn't look as clean. It's gonna oxidize, but there's nothing wrong with the copper when it oxidizes. I'll just scrape it off, and it's naturally very, very clean. It's antimicrobial. It doesn't have much of a biome going on top of it, so if I ever need to do any actual lab work, it's clean. Plus, I've got a little room in here, so if I'm going to do lab work, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down, going to go in here, I'm going to encase myself in the copper, and then I'm going to take off my equipment, and wash my hands and get to work. Because look, if there's one thing I can do, it's follow safety standards. And then, we've got the books over here. These ones are empty for notes, and these two are the books I got from Kaimidar about A and stuff. And I think because I asked Kaimidar at one point to talk to A about, getting me home, and Kaimidar and A replied that I can't get home, so I thought that was good evidence. And then I've got my 2 journals here, which are quite interesting thinking about them. And then my most recent journal, which I haven't updated in a while because the last thing I have in here is the questing guild. Um and then I have my board of questions, because the overall goal of this is, well, to get them out of my head, but I feel like I can't just rush into it. I need to, like, that's the big goal, but I don't know a lot of things. I don't know why I'm in Arcadia, for one. We never figured that out. I don't know what went wrong the first time. I don't know, by what went wrong the first time, I mean, I don't know why they're attached to me, which I really would like to know at this point, because I think that would help with a lot of, like, if I know how they're attached, maybe I can detach them. Why me, and like, why me in general? Why can't they get into Arcadia? I would assume because of a server firewall, but is it something else? And what are they actually? Because they're just the voices in my head who are kind of like, they can't just be voices in my head because they can manipulate the world. And also, why my memories? This isn't necessarily related to them, it might be, but why did I lose my memories when I died? That doesn't make any sense. I'm pretty sure I didn't used to lose memories when I died. Um, but now that I think about it, since the hardcore worlds, every time I've died, I've lost memories. So that's something to look into. So we've got the things to look into, we've got my notes, and this is my work area. I'm not actually going to start doing any work today because what I'm going to be doing is writing up a complete history of everything I can remember that has happened to me. Because now that I'm thinking about it, maybe just going through what's happened will make things make sense. Because if my memory loss started in the hardcore worlds, is it maybe like I switched servers wrong? I don't know. But I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna go home and take a break and see my kids. And next time I'll have my notes written and I'll be able to actually start thinking things through and trying to answer some questions.